The Toronto Raptors fall in Kawhi's return to Toronto. He gets his ring ceremony. We'll talk about that first, get it out of the way. And it was weird seeing Kawhi back here, especially in a Clippers uniform. And seeing the ring, seeing him be happy with Lowry and the fans and all. It's great to see. But in the end, it's over and done with now, people. Don't have to talk about it anymore. I'm enjoying this, you know why? Because we are still NBA champions, no matter what is going on this season. Because the Raptors fall in this one to Kawhi and the Clippers, 112-92. The Raptors lose by 20 points. Now, they went through stretches, did the Raptors, where they looked really good, and I thought, hey, they can win this basketball game. And then they went through some other ones where they were just absolutely awful. But what has been a theme now for 4 or 5, maybe 5 or 6 games now, if you go back to the Utah game. Going back to that game against Utah and every game since then, the Raptors have not shot the ball well at all. They have not. And the story continued today. When you face a team like the Los Angeles Clippers, as good as that team is, and you expect to shoot 35% from the field and 22% from 3 and win a basketball game, good luck with that. Your defense has to be out of this world. The Raptors continue to struggle offensively. Like I said, only scored 92 points today. They scored 93 against Chicago, only 104 against Philly, 109 against Houston. And yeah, they scored 110 against Miami, but that was in overtime. And they have really struggled at the Toronto Raptors offensively. They have not looked sharp. They have not made shots. And they're wide open ones, too. Now, everyone's going to go at Kyle Lowry, and I was the guy defending him in the last video, and I can't really defend him today. He was awful. Lowry was straight up garbage today. 6 points, 4 rebounds, 6 assists on 1 of 8 shooting, 0 of 7 from 3, 4 of 4 from the line, couple steals in the ball game for Lowry, but he was just not very good. He just was not very good whatsoever offensively. Serge Ibaka, why do those two names go together? They both come back from injuries. And Serge Ibaka was awful. Did not get a single point. Shot 0 of 8 from the field. Missed all 3 shots he took. All 3 threes he took, Had 5 rebounds, 3 assists, and a couple blocks. But Kyle Lowry and Serge Ibaka combined for 6. Not good enough. It's just not good enough, people. This team did not play well offensively. And it was weird. Because in the first quarter, everything looked great. You hold them to only 27. That's not bad. You score 32. We're like, all right, we're right into this game. We got a 5-point lead after 1 quarter of play. Kawhi's not doing any damage yet. They're looking really solid here early on. Terrence Davis knocking down a couple threes. I'll get to my anger about that in a second. And then in the second quarter, it was gone. Just like that. It was gone. The Raptors scored 32 in the first quarter. 14 in the second. And not only was your offense straight up just absolutely atrocious in the second, your defense was just as bad. The Raptors allowed 37 points. 37 points in that second quarter. Minus 23. That's awful. You lose a quarter by 23 points. You score 14, you give up almost 40. That 5-point lead is just in the abyss at that point because you're minus 18 at the half. What happened? They just looked awful. They looked out of sync offensively. They couldn't make a wide open shot. The ball stopped moving. They returned the ball over. The Raptors had 8 turnovers alone in the second quarter. Not good enough. They weren't playing good defense. A lot of wide open shots. A lot of second chance points. And they just could not make a basket to save their life. It was bad. Now, you're hoping this team comes out in the second half and shows some energy, shows some fight, and finds a way to come back in this. But it was going to be tough, down 18 to a really good basketball team. But the Raptors make it happen. At one point, they're down 20 in the third, and I'm like, wow, this game's... They need a miracle at this point. That miracle shows up. They start getting stops. They start making shots. And we're like, oh my God, what is happening? Marc Gasol turns into a freak. We'll get to how he played in a bit. Making shots, just making beautiful passes all night long. The deficit is then cut to 7. And we're like, holy smokes, what happened? A 21-6 run for the Toronto Raptors, and they are right back in this game. With still time to play in the third quarter, with like a minute 50 to go. Holy smokes, they're right back in this. Doc Rivers calls a timeout for the LA Clippers. They come out of the timeout, and that remaining, I think it's about 150. It could be wrong. It could be maybe 2 something, but remaining time on the clock after that timeout to the end of the third quarter, the Clippers go on a 12-0 run, and you're down 19 after 3. You were just there. You cut it to 5 at some point. And just like that, in under 2 minutes, they go on a 12-0 run and you're down by a ton. That is awful. You just can't let that. If this team is a team we're expecting to go deep in the playoffs, and heck, at this point, even make the playoffs, I'm pretty sure they're going to do that, but, go deep in the playoffs. If that's what we're expecting, they got to play better. They got to make shots, and they got to consistently get stops. Because they could not do it consistently tonight. Excuse me, guys. And, crazy number here. Because they only scored 25 in the third quarter. Only 21 in the fourth. The Raptors scored 32 points in the first quarter. They scored a total of 60 the rest of the way. You had 32 points in the first quarter and you can't even score 100. Pascal Siakam. My God, this guy has been awful. I'm sorry. I love what Siakam has done for this team in the past, and he's looked great, and blah, blah, blah. And people are going to look at it and say, well, he had 24 points and shot 9 of 20. There's 45%. That's pretty good. At one point in time, Pascal was shooting 4 of 15. And that's when they made their big run. So I get people are going to say, well, he got it back to normal. Yeah, when you're down by 20, anyone can do that. Because no one's going to play hard-nosed defense against you when they're up by 20 points. Siakam has to start playing better basketball on both sides. You saw it in the last game. He was getting blown by the Chicago Bulls. I mean, the guy can't shoot very consistently at all. Yeah, he shot 9 of 20 today, but for me, I don't look at that because I looked at the first after 3 quarters of play and he was shooting 4 of 15. That is awful. That is straight up garbage. Yeah, 24 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists, a steal, and 3 blocks. Looks pretty good, doesn't it? But if you watch the game today, when the games matter, when the points matter, when they were on that 12-0 run, you needed a stop. You needed a bucket to end that run. He could not get it. I think there were at least 2 3-point shots and then a nice easy bunny that he completely whiffed on. So I get it. People want to protect Siakam and protect his name and whatever. The guy is playing garbage. He has not shot over 50% since Utah. Tonight was the only night, other than, I forgot which night it was, that he shot over 40%. And even this game, like I said, for most of the contest, he was shooting under 40. Siakam has been playing awful basketball. He's been getting blown by on defense, like I said. He's been not really playing well whatsoever defensively. Yeah, he can block shots here and there. That's nice to see. But you got to be able to play mano-a-mano defense, and he has not been able to do that. He's not been able to make consistent threes. What was he today? 1 of 4 from 3, 25%. Not good. He wasn't great. OG, look, 13 and 7. I thought he played an energetic game. I'm going to leave it at that. He shot 4 of 14, though, 1 of 7 from 3. Minus 24 while he's on the floor. He just didn't make shots. The team didn't overall. But Marc Gasol, he did. Gasol had 9 points, 11 rebounds, and 6 assists. He was awesome. Shot 4 of 8 shooting, 1 of 2 from 3, had 3 steals and a block. And his 6 assists were not just, little here's a pass, knocked down a 3. No. They were nice thread and needle passes. They were nice feeds from Marc Gasol. He was impressive. Him and Norman Powell, the only 2 guys that I liked in this basketball game, all right? Like I said, Norman Powell, 22 points in 34 minutes, shot 7 of 11 from the field, 3 rebounds and an assist, 6 of 6 from the line, 2 of 5 from 3, had a steal in the ball game. He did have 5 turnovers, did Powell, and he was a minus 20 while he was on the floor. But, again, you didn't have any, your veteran guys did not do anything today. They combined for 1 of 16, did Lowry and Ibaka. They combined for 0 of 10 from 3. You can't play a team like the Los Angeles Clippers and expect to win when those guys play like that. It's just impossible. You know? I don't like the fact that Nick Nurse waited till the fourth quarter to play Chris Boucher. You know, Gasol can't play for his life. He was 0 of 6 at the time that I started thinking he should put Boucher in. You know, Gasol is 0 of 6, can't make shots, hasn't done a lot defensively. Hey, let's try the young guy, bring some energy in Chris Boucher. No, he waits till he's down 19 going into the fourth quarter to bring out Boucher. And in those 9 minutes that he did play, 5 points, 3 boards, 2 of 5 shooting, 1 of 3 from 3. And it was a +2 while he was on the floor was Boucher. And Terrence Davis, the Raptors had 4 made threes at one point. He made 2 of them. And the guy only plays 15 minutes. He had 10 points and 3 of 8 shooting, 2 of 5 from 3, 2 of 2 from the line, had a steal in the ballgame, only a -1 in those 15 minutes, yet he's got his rear end parked in the bench while Serge Ibaka can't make a shot to save his life and is a -12 in 20 minutes, and he's out there playing. Coach, I love what he did last year. I love what Nick Nurse did last season with this team. The in-game adjustments in the playoffs, we know it, we saw it, we loved it, but we're not there anymore. Kawhi's not here. Danny Green's not here. This team is different, and you gotta play the hot hands. Clearly, Ibaka wasn't working. You saw it in the third quarter, so you damn well throw out Chris Boucher. I don't care who's making more money. I don't care about the Lowry. Look, I get it. When Freddie VanVleet comes back, this offense is going to look a little different, and it damn well should. But I'm starting to believe that Fred VanVleet should be the starting point guard. You know, Lowry is a great player when he wants to be. And I get it, you know, he's trying his best and everything. But if that's what we're seeing right now from Lowry, it's just not good enough. On the year, Lowry shooting only 42% from the field. He's shooting 37% from 3, but he was 0 of 7 today, so that's going to drop mightily after this loss today. So, guys, look, the team did not shoot well. The Clippers shot 44% from the field, 30% from 3, but they knocked down 4 more threes than the Raptors. They knocked down 7 more field goals than the Raptors, and they had 2 more free throws made than the Raptors. So, you're going to lose every ball game when that looks like that. Rebounding category, I thought it was going to be a lot worse. Raptors only -3 in that category. Offensive glass, though, as we've been seeing a lot lately, the Raptors won the offensive boards category 15-12. Now, going back to one player that I actually forgot to mention, Hollis-Jefferson, I thought early in this ball game was electric defensively. I thought he was electric on the rebounds. He had 8 rebounds in 13 minutes. Problem, foul trouble. In those 13 minutes, he had a total of 4 fouls. And I'd say at least 2 of them were ghost phantom calls. The referee saw a hand on Paul George. He's like, and instantly when Paul George freaks out, that's instantly a push. And Rondae Hollis-Jefferson gets the foul, and that was his 4th, and got him out of the game. And you didn't see him again until the 4th quarter. So I'm not saying that was the end-all and be-all of the game, because I don't know if he would have made, you know, a big of a difference to change that -20 score in the finals column. But in the end, guys, the Raptors did not play well enough. They didn't shoot the ball well enough. They didn't defend well enough when they needed to the most. They did not defend well at all. And their comeback was met with a 12-0 run from the Clippers. So that's just the way it goes sometimes, guys. 21 assists for the Raptors. Once again, it's a little bit lower than we'd like to see. They had 29, 10 steals to their 8 blocks to their 5. 18 turnovers for the Toronto Raptors. Again, this has been like a recurring theme over the last little while. Turnovers have been an issue. This team is throwing the ball away. They're not making smart plays. Their passes aren't on target. They're not really looking very strong right now. Yeah, they had 18 turnovers, but again, the Raptors are a very good defensive ball club, or at least we think so. And you expect that when people are doubling Kawhi and whatnot. But, you know, points in the paint, Raptors were -4. Second chance points, -1 with the Raptors, even though we won the offensive glass category. And fast break points, only 12 for the Raptors in this game. Again, I don't know what's going on with this team. They're not getting out and running, and they're not getting stops, and they're not playing very good basketball. They've lost 4 of 5 now. They're 16-8 on the season. They are, the Indiana Pacers guys are 16-9. We're 16-8. We're 5th in the Eastern Conference. You know, guys, the next matchup for this team, though, is on Saturday as they welcome in the Brooklyn Nets to Scotiabank Arena. And Brooklyn's been playing a lot of inspired basketball. They're 13-11, on the season. They lost tonight, did Brooklyn. But they're 13-11 on the year. Spencer Dinwiddie's been playing incredibly well. I mean, obviously at home court, you should take that win. But with the way this team is playing right now, I don't know what to expect. I need Pascal Siakam to start making shots. I need to see him start being aggressive instead of trying to pull up and do some fading jump shots and just, dribbling ISO threes and stuff like that. Get back to work, man. Get in the paint. Fight. Claw. Get those inside the paint buckets. That's what you want to see from Pascal, and we have not seen a lot of that lately. When he does put a guy in the post, he went on Paul George once in this game. I think it was early on in this game. Put Paul George on the post, then did a nice little spin move, as he likes to do, off the glass and in. But then he goes away from it. Then you don't see Pascal, and that's not what you want to see. When you see a guy like Kawhi Leonard out there, that guy's out there all the time, and you sure as heck know it. Pascal, you didn't see him much tonight. Even though it was a very, very, very quiet 24 points for Pascal. Now, like I said, you got Brooklyn at 7:30 at Scotiabank Arena on Saturday night. Look, I think we can all agree that game you must have. You lose that, you've lost 5 of 6. You're just not playing very good basketball. And right now they're not. They got to find a way. Is Fred VanVleet going to play in the next game? If he does, it'll be very interesting to see how this team plays. I'm very intrigued to see what happens if Freddie plays. If not, how are they going to perform? I don't know. It's all a question mark right now. This team's kind of questioning themselves right now, maybe. I think a lot of you guys as well are questioning Nick Nurse and a lot of the players, especially Kyle Lowry. I don't know what else to say to you guys. I really don't. All right? So, guys, that is going to do it for this one. If you guys enjoyed this video and you guys enjoyed this game, if you enjoyed seeing Kawhi again, let me just put it that way, and you didn't like the loss today, smack that like button. Do appreciate that. Hit the subscribe button if you guys have not already. Comment down below thoughts on thoughts on the game, thoughts on the video. What are your guys taking this team right now? I mean, I want to get your guys' inside take, and when I say inside, I don't mean Trey Lowry. He's garbage. No, I want a legit answer. Like, Lowry shouldn't be playing this many minutes. They need to give Terrence Davis some more time, or, Fred VanVleet's got to take over that starting point guard position. They have to find a way to get Lowry off the bench kind of thing. I don't know. I don't know what you guys are feeling. I've seen a few of those types of comments in the past. So I want to hear what you guys have to say. Let me know in the comments below, guys. Twitter is down below for myself. Follow up, send me a DM, do all that great stuff, guys. And the Patreon account is down below as well. Sign up. I'll be more active on that if and when people want to join that. If you guys are interested in that, go do so. The link is in the description for that. And I will talk to you guys the Leafs edition tomorrow night as the Buds are in Calgary taking on the Flames. 9 o'clock puck drop there in Calgary. They are red hot, and the Leafs have been playing pretty damn good hockey over the last couple games. They look to continue that against the red hot Calgary Flames in Calgary. As for the Toronto Raptors, they welcome in the Brooklyn Nets to Scotiabank Arena, like we said, on Saturday night, as the Raps look to get back into the win column after, some really awful stretch of not being able to make wide open shots. Can they do so against Brooklyn at home? We're going to have to wait and see on Saturday night, all right? So thank you guys so much for listening and watching. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. There we go. We'll talk to you guys then.